Some numbers are so large, they make you pause. They represent more than just money. They represent a lifetime of decisions, risks, ideas. For Ray Dalio, that number is around 15.4 billion. It is a figure that speaks to an incredible journey in the world of finance. This is not just a story about wealth. It is a story about a man who saw the world as a machine, a complex system of cause and effect. He believed that if you could understand the rules of that machine, you could navigate its challenges and reap its rewards. Ray Dalio was born in 1949 into a world rebuilding itself. He grew up in a typical middle-class Italian-American family in Jackson Heights, Queens. His father was a jazz musician, playing the clarinet, playing the saxophone. His mother was a homemaker. It was a modest upbringing, far removed from the towering skyscrapers of Wall Street. But even as a young boy, Dalio was drawn to the world of money. He started caddying at a local golf course when he was just 12 years old. The golfers he carried bags for were often stockbrokers. The golfers he carried bags for were often investors. Their conversations about the market sparked a fire in his young mind. He took his earnings from the golf course, a few $100s, and decided to invest. He bought his first stock in a company called Northeast Airlines. He chose it for a simple reason. It was the only company he had heard of that was trading for less than $5 a share. By a stroke of luck, Northeast Airlines was soon the subject of a merger, and the value of its stock tripled. In 1975, Ray Dalio decided to take the biggest risk of his career. He was let go from Shearson after a disagreement with his boss, but instead of looking for another job, he saw an opportunity. At the age of 26, he founded his own investment firm, Bridgewater Associates, right out of his two-bedroom New York City apartment. The early days were humble. It was just him and a couple of friends, managing money for a small number of clients. Their initial focus was not on managing vast sums of money, providing high-quality research, advice to corporate clients, helping them manage their currency risks, helping them manage their interest rate risks. The company's first major service was a daily written market commentary called The Daily Observations. This report became their calling card. It was filled with deep data-driven analysis of global economic trends. Dalio was not just reporting the news. He was trying to explain the underlying mechanics of the market. This commitment to rigorous research and intellectual honesty quickly earned Bridgewater a reputation for excellence. Corporations like McDonald's began to rely on their insights. Major pension funds began to rely on their insights. The true engine of Bridgewater's expansion was its innovative approach to investing. Ray Dalio and his team did not just try to predict market direction. They sought portfolios that could perform in any economic environment. This led to their most famous strategy, the all-weather fund. Simple in idea, complex in execution. Dalio saw that assets behave differently across economic seasons, such as rising growth, falling growth, rising inflation, falling inflation. All weather held a balanced mix to weather any storm. It changed the game. It moved away from market timing toward strategic balance and risk management. It was built on Dalio's concept of risk parity, balancing risk contributions across assets, not merely dollar allocations. That gave clients a more stable path to long-term growth. Success drew huge institutional clients, sovereign wealth funds, massive pension plans seeking steady returns without wild swings. Another pillar was pure alpha, all-weather for stability, pure alpha to chase higher returns. It bet across 100+ liquid markets worldwide, stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. Decisions weren't made by one person. They were run by systematized, computer-driven rules, grounded in decades of Dalio's research and principles. Those algorithms captured Bridgewater's best thinking, enabling thousands of objective, data-driven decisions. Together, these strategies made Bridgewater the top hedge fund. At its peak, it managed over $160 billion. That scale generated big fees, which fueled Dalio's personal wealth. But the growth was more than money. It validated his philosophy. A systematic, principles-based approach beat gut instincts and emotional trading. His success wasn't a fluke, it was a carefully designed, meticulously executed money-making machine. The financial success that followed Bridgewater's growth was staggering. As the firm's assets under management swelled into the tens of billions and then passed the $100 billion mark, Ray Dalio's personal net worth grew in lockstep. Because he remained the majority owner of the private company he founded, a significant portion of the firm's profits flowed directly to him. This placed him in the exclusive club of the world's wealthiest individuals. His name became synonymous with hedge fund success. He was recognized by Forbes. He was recognized by Bloomberg. It was a testament to his firm's incredible performance over decades. Dalio's wealth was built on a series of incredibly successful market calls. One of the most famous came in the years leading up to the 2008 financial crisis. While many on Wall Street were celebrating the housing boom, Dalio and his team saw the dangerous buildup of debt in the system. They studied historical debt crises and recognized the warning signs. In 2007, Bridgewater began positioning its funds to profit from a coming downturn. When the crisis hit and markets around the world collapsed, Bridgewater's Pure Alpha Fund posted significant positive returns, protecting its clients' capital and earning Dalio widespread acclaim as a financial sage. Of course, his career was not without its challenges. There were years when the firm's performance lagged and times when his market calls did not play out as expected. In the years after 2008, some strategies struggled to generate the high returns they were known for. But Dalio viewed these periods not as failures, but as opportunities to learn. He and his team would rigorously analyze their mistakes, update their models, and refine their principles. This commitment to learning from setbacks explains the firm's long-term resilience across 4 decades. Beyond balance sheets, Dalio's success granted him a powerful platform. He became a global thought leader. He began sharing his economic insights publicly, writing essays on the economy and the long-term debt cycle. He attended the World Economic Forum in Davos, where he spoke with presidents, prime ministers, and central bankers. His financial success gave him a voice, and he used it to teach, to warn, and to share his guiding principles. Despite the complexity of his investment strategies, Ray Dalio's advice for the average person is remarkably simple and straightforward, One of his most fundamental beliefs is the importance of diversification. He often says that with 15 to 20 good, uncorrelated return streams, you can dramatically reduce your risks without lowering your expected returns. For the everyday investor, this means not putting all your eggs in one basket. It means spreading your savings across different types of investments, stocks, bonds, real estate, commodities, so that a downturn in one area will not wipe out your entire portfolio. It is a timeless piece of advice, but one that Dalio has elevated to a science. He is also a major proponent of learning from history. Dalio believes that most of the things that surprise us in the markets and in life have happened before. He has spent countless hours studying economic history, from the Great Depression in the 1930s to the fall of the Roman Empire. He urges people to adopt a similar mindset. By understanding the patterns of the past, we can better prepare for the future. This means looking beyond the daily news cycle and understanding the large, long-term forces, debt, technology, social change, that shape our world. For Dalio, history is not just a subject, it is a practical guide for making better decisions. Another core piece of his advice is to embrace reality and learn from your mistakes. He is famous for his mantra, pain plus reflection equals progress. He teaches that painful experiences, especially our mistakes, are our greatest opportunities to learn and improve. Instead of hiding from our errors, we should examine them openly and honestly to understand what went wrong. This requires humility and a willingness to accept that we do not have all the answers. By making this process a habit, we can turn our failures into our most valuable lessons, a process that is as applicable to personal finance, running a business, navigating personal relationships. Finally, Dalio emphasizes the power of writing down your principles. He did this for himself and his company in his best-selling book, Principles, Life and Work. He argues that by clearly defining the rules you want to live and work by, you can make decisions in a more consistent and logical way. These principles act as a compass, guiding you through difficult situations when emotions might otherwise take over. Whether it is a principle for saving a certain percentage of your income or a principle for how you interact with colleagues, having a clear set of rules helps you stay true to your long-term goals. This simple act of codifying your beliefs can bring clarity and order to a complex life. Ray Dalio's main business remains the one he founded in his apartment, Bridgewater Associates. It stands today as a behemoth in the investment world, a testament to his life's work. He has stepped back from day-to-day management, now a mentor and board member. His DNA is woven into the firm. Bridgewater runs on radical transparency, idea meritocracy, a powerful force in global finance, managing the wealth of nations' universities, charitable foundations, a true kingmaker in the economic landscape. Beyond Bridgewater, Dalio built an enterprise around his ideas. He authored several influential books, including Principles read by millions worldwide. Other books dive into the changing world, order the cycles of history. He shares essays and videos making complex economic theory accessible. This educational mission is a major part of his legacy. He's no longer just managing money, teaching the world how to think about money. Risk the future. Dalio is deeply committed to philanthropy, a signatory of the Giving Pledge, a promise by the wealthy to give most of their wealth. Through the Dalio Foundation, they've donated hundreds of millions ocean exploration and conservation, mental health and wellness, equal opportunity in education supporting financial inclusion. He uses wealth to improve the larger social machine,